Hi, I'm Dr. Leo Stouter, and this is Anatomy on the Beach. So let's look at aphasia. Aphasia is going to be a problem with the brain. We're going to look at the two types of aphasia. First, we need to talk about the anatomy of the brain. When we look at the brain, we see it's just going to be basically almost like a circle. We have another smaller circle underneath called the cerebellum. So we have the cerebrum and the cerebellum. And for us to really get a nice view of what the brain really does look like, it looks very similar to a Easter bunny. We have the tail being the cerebellum, and we have his body being, of course, the brain. We just add ears, and in this area where we see the temporal lobe, that's going to be where his back feet are. So it sort of looks a little bit like a bunny. So when we look at the brain, we see where his back feet are, or that temporal lobe area, is going to be an area where we're going to be talking about Broca's area and also Wernicke's area. And right in the middle of our brain, of course, is the central sulcus. The central sulcus is going to be defining the two areas that are going to be responsible for motor and also for sensory. The precentral gyrus is going to be responsible for motor, and the postcentral gyrus is going to be responsible, of course, for sensory. So when we combine all of these together, we can sort of see what's going on with aphasia. So first of all, we could have a problem like this. If an individual were to use their vision, what we would see is that this area back here in our occipital lobe would light up if we were to do a PET scan, for instance. So the individual sees, like for instance, we raise a placard that has a car on it, and we'd say, give us an adverb that would describe this, and they would say drive. So their vision has seen this, so the occipital lobe will light up in a PET scan, and then they have to construct in their mind the word drive, and that would be in this area, which is Wernicke's. Wernicke's area is going to be where words are key. So Wernicke's area is going to be the area where we're going to be constructing that word drive. And then in Broca's area, we're going to be actually creating a program to actually say the word drive. And then once that's said, then we want to bring the information that's here into our motor area so we can actually speak it. And you remember that that's going to be our precentral gyrus. So now we actually say the word drive. Now if a person has a problem with either Broca's or Wernicke's area, then there's going to be either a aphasia that we're going to be calling fluent or an aphasia that we're going to be calling non-fluent. Now if we have a problem with Broca's area, you can see that we're not going to be able to speak it. And yet inside the person's mind they have created the word drive, but they can't say it. So therefore it's going to be a non-fluent aphasia. Whereas it's possible for the individual to have a problem in Wernicke's. So when they see the placard with the car, what they really say to themselves is elephant. Elephant has nothing to do with the car, but that's what they say because they have a problem with Wernicke's. So when they say it, because Broca's is still functional, they're going to say elephant, and that's going to be considered a fluent aphasia.